Hi, welcome to AI Today with Leah, the podcast where we tell you what's happening with artificial intelligence and how it impacts your work and business. We're kicking off with something that shook the entire industry over these 2 weeks. Anthropic went through a genuine regulatory roller coaster with its most powerful model. It all started on June 9, when the company launched Claude Fable 5 and its restricted version, Mythos 5, presenting them as the most capable models ever released to the public, with outstanding performance in software engineering, scientific research, and knowledge work. But just 3 days later, the US government issued an export control directive that forced Anthropic to suspend access to both models for all users, since there was no way to verify nationality in real time. Companies that had already integrated Fable 5 into their workflows had to revert overnight to previous models. Watch this closely, because the story has a twist. On June 30th, the controls were lifted, and on July 1st, Anthropic restored global access to Fable 5. Here, the business takeaway is clear. If your company is building critical processes on a single model from a single vendor with no contingency plan, the risk is no longer just technical, it's geopolitical. The concrete decision: push your tech team to build an architecture with alternative vendors so that a regulatory change overnight doesn't paralyze your operations. Meanwhile, on the other side of the board, OpenAI felt similar pressure. On June 26th, it presented its new model family, GPT 5.6, with 3 versions: Sol, Terra, and Luna. But unlike previous launches, the company limited initial access to a small group of trusted partners at the request of the US government. This comes just 2 weeks after Anthropic's episode and sends a clear signal. The most advanced labs are no longer launching models with only the market in mind, but coordinating with regulators beforehand. From another angle, this is both an opportunity and a warning for any company. The speed of adoption for the next model no longer depends only on how good it is, but on how long those negotiations take. The practical decision: if your AI strategy for the second half of the year depends on immediate access to the newest model on the market, build a time buffer into your planning, because that access is no longer instant or guaranteed. And here comes another player speaking directly to whoever manages the budget: Gartner. On July 1st, the consulting firm published a report warning that up to $234 billion in enterprise software spending is at risk from what they call agentic arbitrage. This is key. The idea is that AI agents start completing tasks directly across multiple systems, without a person needing to log into each application separately, breaking the traditional link between user growth and revenue growth for many software vendors. Gartner estimates this will account for around 20% of total enterprise software as a service spending by 2030. The business takeaway here is direct. If you're a company buying software by seat or license, this is your window to renegotiate contracts and ask your vendors how genuinely agentic their offering really is. And if you're a software vendor, the urgent decision is to shift from an interface-based model to an outcome-based model, because whoever fails to do so risks becoming invisible between their customer and their product. Thanks for joining us on AI Today with Leah. See you in the coming weeks with more real-world artificial intelligence news.